Alright, I am back again. Hang on, I can't see who's where. Twitch. Oh, it's still up. Here we go. Okay. Back again. I don't think anybody's watching yet, but that's all right. I decided I'd come back and stream a little bit more. I think I gotta run in like half an hour or so. I'm back. Hey, Greg. Oh wow, a bunch of people tuned back in. Awesome. I'm back. We're not gonna do the robot thing tonight because I don't have a lot of time left. But I figured I'd do what I was doing off camera. I forgot I got a shipment from Harbor Freight today of these organizers, which, let's see, let's get the camera set up here. I got these organizers in the mail today, and I was starting to bin out all of the various bolts and things that I ordered off of the McMaster car for a while. So I figured I'd do that and chat some more, if y'all are down for that. Yeah. Robot Army, that sounds pretty cool. Telepresence via hoverboard. What's an O drive? Hey, Mr. John Z, I am back. I couldn't stay away. So I figured I'd hang out here and sort bolts. Super exciting, I know. But it's gotta happen one way or another. Oh, nice, Robot Army. You're not someone I know from Shenzhen, are you? You're not Ryan, are you? I just, Imperial College, I only know one person who's involved in Imperial College, or one set of people. All right, so I am, oh, awesome. It's great to have you in here. I saw you pinged me on Twitter, but I haven't had a chance to reply yet. Awesome. So I'm cutting out the labels off the McMaster car bags so that I can easily reorder stuff when I run out. And actually, I bought a label maker. I bought this label maker, which it's Bluetooth enabled, so you don't get a keyboard or a screen on it, which is great. You can make a spreadsheet on your computer and just have it do like a mail merge, essentially. So I'm gonna put labels on here, but for now I'm just cutting out the McMaster car deal so that. Oops, I got distracted. I didn't include the part number. Okay, that goes on there too. So, this label maker is the brother. It's a PTP710BT, but it is a Cube Plus. I don't know if you can see that. You see that? Put it that way. I like it so far. I've only played with it for like a day, but I made a Google spreadsheet from my McMaster car order history when I ordered all these bolts, and then was able to like mail merge that down to a whole bunch of labels, which I haven't stuck on yet. So I printed all the labels for the stuff behind me, and I haven't done them for this yet, but I will. Heat shrink cartridges, I don't know about that. Tell me more about that. Jafar Troll, it's good to have you back. Thanks for tuning back in. What I realized is I should have just kept the stream going and blanked it out. I gotta work on my settings here, so when I take bathroom breaks, I'll lose everybody. Let's look at this. What is this? Ooh, this is cool. Heat shrink tubing. Ooh. I don't know. I think this will fit. Oh, I got to get some of that. Oh, I'm totally about that. Being able to print on heat shrink tubing. Oh, they're expensive, but yes, I want to try that out. I'm going to save that for later here. Whoop. Oh, Jafar Troll, awesome. You hung out with us at Free Gold Watch. That was a whirlwind of a night. I'm not sure I remember who you are, but I'm really glad you joined us. That is awesome. That was a crazy night. It was very, very fun. Yeah, that's really cool, Ryan. I really want to try that out. That being said, I'm not sure I ever make anything that organized or that pretty that requires machine printed heat shrink tubing, but maybe I can aspire to it. It does cut labels automatically, and it has a couple different modes. If you're printing like labels one at a time, it's the cutter and the printer are about an inch apart, and so you end up wasting about an inch if you cut one. If you print one and cut it, and then print another one and cut it. But if you print a bunch in a row, it does what's called chain printing, and it only does that waste an inch once. So I know a bunch of people are complaining about that online, but I'm happy with it. It's a little more expensive than the ones with the screens, but I'll take it. Pairs with the phone, plugs in via USB to the computer. They've got decent apps for both. So, yeah. So far, it's been a good experience. The biggest downside is just like labels are expensive to buy. But oh, hey Casey, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I've been doing all right. It's been a rough year, as I imagine it has for most people. It's really thrown a monkey wrench in my plans for 2020. I had all these plans to go to new countries and shoot a bunch of ambitious videos, and none of that has happened. So I'm just kind of feel like I'm gradually figuring out what to do instead, and it's involved a lot of rethinking my strategy around what videos to make and what projects to do and things like that. So a big piece of that has been getting into this new shop space here. So we'll see. It feels like a lot of pressure right now of like I spent all this time building out the shop and now I got to make stuff, but it also is exciting. So we'll see. I did leave Shenzhen a while before COVID. I was there. Well, I was really there the first half of 2019, and then I was stuck in the U.S. doing that god-awful slot machine ATM project, which took way longer than we thought. We thought it was going to be like a 3-week project, and it ended up being like a 5 or 6 month project. And then I went back for like a month, but I knew that was like a limited time trip. I went back right before Christmas, and then, yeah, stuff started getting crazy, and I was like, I don't really want to be there right now. In hindsight, I think it might be safer to be there than here in the U.S. right now with the way COVID's going in the U.S., but it's hard to tell. I don't know. I was talking to friends in Shenzhen last night, and they were like, we don't really know that we trust the government's numbers. Like, it's definitely around, so I don't know. I mean, that's kind of my attitude as well, is like, well, I don't think there's like, people dying on every street corner from COVID, but I'm not sure I trust the exact numbers that the Chinese government is releasing either. It's all about saving face there and whatnot, so I don't know. I feel like this camera angle is weird. Let me tweak this a bit. Oh, but I'm moving the microphone. Now it's in frame. Okay, so let's see if I can adjust this a bit. Is that better? Ish? Better-ish? Ooh, it's dark too. What's going on here? These are all stainless bolts. I decided that I really needed an inventory of basic hardware, and I just, like, supply chain wise, I can't rely on being able to get things next day, so I wanted a full inventory of hardware. This particular part of the inventory was inspired by Adam Savage, who has a full hardware inventory in his shop, and so I took some of his recommendations. So I ended up ordering it all off McMaster-Carr. I'm sure there was a cheaper way of doing it, but it's so easy on McMaster. You just plug in what you want and away you go. And so yeah, I ended up with all stainless, all metric, which I'm having second thoughts about. But I don't know, it ended up being like $1,000 worth of nuts and bolts and stuff, which feels really extravagant. But it'll last me a lifetime, I figure, so I carry it with me when I go back to China. I think I'm gonna have a shop here in the US for the foreseeable future, so it feels reasonable. And it's really nice being able to just walk over to the wall and pull down what you need. I've got ideas, so I think that's gonna get more and more important as I start diving into more ambitious projects. So, yeah, the problem with all metric has been that if I need to replace a bolt or a nut or something on an existing tool or something, I'm out of luck. I gotta replace everything related to it. So I might have to get some Imperial or SAE as well. Have I got all the labels here? I think so. I'm working my way through M4 right now here. I thought I was going to be able to get 2 different sizes in this one bin, but I think I'm going to have to just do M4 in here for now. And we'll just have some empty slots. This is a very cool deal. This is about $10 a piece. I got a bunch of them. I got 10 of these and 5 double height ones, which should last me for quite a while. I don't have nearly that much hardware yet. But the cool thing is that they have removable bins. So this is a Sortimo knockoff, which is Adam Savage's favorite organizer. But they're like a sixth of the cost. This would be like 50 or 60 bucks if you bought a Sortimo. So it looks like it's pretty good quality. This is from Harbor Freight, and like, I don't know, I haven't tried this test yet, but I don't know. Seems good to me, and I like the idea that I can open it up, remove a bin, and then close it back up, and even that one doesn't move around, right? Because it's locked into place by all this grid. So I'm gonna build a rack for them, and like a shelving sort of unit. So I've got 10 of these, and I'll stack them all up. I don't know whether I'm gonna put electronics in here or not. I ordered a bunch of like SMD parts and stuff off of DigiKey, and I gotta figure out a sorting mechanism for those. Where did my last baggie go? Just lost the. I got distracted. I need a label for those. Where did that go? You didn't steal it, did you? I don't know. It'll turn up again. It's nylon buck nuts, so not the end of the world, but yeah. Oh, interesting, Robot Army. Yeah, I ordered those little, like, the little pill boxes that are maybe an inch on a side, and they like lock together, and so you can create a grid. I ordered a bunch of those on AliExpress, so I'm gonna try those out. I know you can like just dump raw components in there. I might use the Sortimo knockoffs. I also got just some of those stupid little like wall mount drawer, you know, set of drawers. I don't know. Yeah, sorting them like index cards, it sounds pretty good too. Just put them in little baggies. Where did I put that? No idea. I guess I didn't drop it. I don't know. Oh, it was on the box. Got it. I found it. Maul this into submission. Yeah, you hit it on the head, Hippo. Like, in Shenzhen, when I need an electronics component, any electronics component, I can get it within roughly 30 minutes, unless it's super, super esoteric. And we're talking like really esoteric. Usually I can get, an equivalent replacement right away. And so the whole notion of even overnight is like just feels so much longer. And a lot of things, AliExpress is weeks. Amazon is a week. It's a whole nother ballgame. The other thing that I haven't tackled yet, which I'm not excited about, is having circuit boards made. PCB turnaround, it gets trivial to get 24-hour turnaround in Shenzhen. It's $30 extra to get 24-hour turnaround, and $30 on top of $4 or whatever it is for a run of basic prototype boards. So here in the US, like, that's crazy. Getting a week or two turnaround is normal. Is fast. So it's that's going to be, when I get into some more electronics projects, that's going to be a serious limitation. Really what it means is that I've got to have more than one project running at once. In Shenzhen, I could really focus on one thing at a time, and here I'm really going to have to step up my project management and have 3 or 4 balls in the air at once, just be producing enough content. And honestly, it probably means I'm going to be putting out videos a bit less frequently. So it's a bit discouraging, but the flip side is I think I'm just going to end up live streaming more. We'll see. JLC PCB will be pretty fast. I think. You can get next day JLC PCB, but then they have to ship, right? So you're looking at close to a week by the time everything's said and done. So there you go. Octopus Proteins says a week turnaround. So like a week's okay, but if you're used to like 24, 48-hour turnaround, like it's an order of magnitude jump, right? There's like a hard line cutoff. It forces you to work in a different way. The dog is shredding a blanket. I'm gonna go put this away and grab another one. So part of my thinking is that I'll do a lot more live streams, and I can do like smaller projects on live streams that wouldn't necessarily warrant a full Strange Parts video, but that are still interesting or fun nonetheless, or just something that I need or want to do that amuses me, and maybe it'll amuse you too. I'm in New Mexico. I'm 45 minutes in the mountains outside of Taos on a small Native American reservation called Picaris Pueblo. It's where I've been here since February or March. And I haven't really left other than to go to like Home Depot. So down in Santa Fe, so we are sorting screws and nuts and bolts. Or I guess I should say nuts and bolts and washers. There are no screws in here. I don't know. This whole like being in the US trying to make stuff, it really for me underscores that we're not a manufacturing economy anymore. We don't have the manufacturing supply chain that say like Shenzhen does. Not that it's accessible to small guys anyway. There's certainly like mail order companies, there's McMaster, there's DigiKey, but I don't know. Everything takes longer. I don't know what else to say. Yes, everybody, Casey, yes, everybody here on the res has been healthy so far. We've had 0 cases, which is pretty amazing. There have been cases just outside the Pueblo, just outside, like there's a town just on the other side, basically right on the other side of the checkpoint, called Penasco. And I know Penasco has had cases. I think there have been 19 cases. I don't know whether total or currently in this immediate valley. So that's scary, obviously. The Pueblo had a scare. We thought somebody was sick a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, and we went into pretty hard lockdown, and even more than currently. I guess I don't know if the Pueblo did a lot different, but we, as a household, went into even further lockdown. And one of the people that I'm living with is immune compromised, and so she would be in real bad shape if she got COVID. It probably would be fatal for her. And so we've been wearing half mask respirators from 3M with P100 filters in them when we go outside the Pueblo. And so then when there was the false positive here, which it ended up being a false positive, it ended up being a rapid testing error. We started wearing the respirators in the Pueblo, like when I would go to pick up a package from the guard shack or whatever. Yeah, it turned out that it was a rapid test that had been a false positive. She had the person who tested positive had gone down to Taos to visit the dentist, and I guess the dentist tested false positive as well, so they like contact traced it. And anyway, it took us a while to figure out that it was in fact a false positive, but been breathing a lot easier. But New Mexico's spiking right now, so we're really trying to limit trips to town, down to Santa Fe and Taos, wearing all of our PPE when we do go. Someone else in the household did a grocery run today, so she's on her way back now. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of scary. I don't know where you all are at and what your current, level of cases is around you, but it's discouraging. We've been on such a tight lockdown. We've been spraying down packages and groceries with bleach. We've been wearing half mask respirators and 3D printed face shields on top of that whenever we see anybody outside the immediate tribe, and it's just discouraging that the virus, that the cases are so high still, and that other people aren't taking it as seriously as we are. Yeah, frustrating. Robot Army, I thought you were in the UK. Did you move? But yeah, I think everywhere, at least in North America, is spiking right now, and it seems like Europe is too. So maybe it's just, I don't know. I think it's partly winter, and it might be just people are fed up, They those that have been quarantining for too long and are exhausted. I know I am, and have just decided that they're going to be more lax about it. But I don't know. Oh, nice, Robot Army. I didn't realize that. Maybe you told me and I didn't remember. But yeah, Vancouver's awesome. I was up there for LTX last summer. Not this past summer, but the summer before, 2019. And it was awesome. I wish I'd had more time there to really explore. We're doing on time. Maybe 10, 20 more minutes to hang out. And then I gotta head up the hill for dinner. I gotta head up to the house. It's interesting being here on the Pueblo. Like most of the roads are dirt roads. I bought a 20-year-old pickup truck. I bought like proper work boots because it's muddy. I feel like I'm starting to live the rural ranching lifestyle. You know, on my drive down to the shop this afternoon, I passed by some of my friends' relatives, and they were out with the horses. So it's real different. It's real different than life in Shenzhen was, you know, a year or two ago. But I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I am sorely in need of a road trip as well. Because of curfew, if I do an overnight road trip, I have to quarantine for 2 weeks for the tribe. So I would love to go camping, but that's not in the cards right now. Yeah, even just camping in the local area would be great, but. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that people are panic buying before the election here. I mean, we are. Someone else, one of the other adults in the house, went out and bought a bunch of groceries today. So I sent her to Home Depot as well for some lumber. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not surprising that other people are on the same wavelength. We're gonna try and avoid town for the next week or two. I don't expect like Taos to get too crazy. Santa Fe might get a little nuts, but Albuquerque probably will pop off here, if that's a thing that's gonna happen. Which I don't know. I kind of am inclined to think that things are gonna get pretty scary in the U.S. in the next week here, based on what's already happening with roving caravans of Trump supporters. Phoenix MM asks, has anyone come across a face mask that doesn't fog up glasses? I don't know of one. Maybe somebody else in chat does. Whoa, what's going on here? I've got screws spilling out. Oh, I should change the thing that says, let's build a robot. It's just, let's sort screws, which is arguably less interesting, but still what's happening. Let's sort screws. Done. I figure there's got to be some truth in advertising here. My zipper's down. It's a chronic problem. Okay. Got some bolt. Where did these go? These go here. And these are button head 12 millimeter. Yes. So everything in here should be M3. I'm gonna have to print out labels on the label maker tomorrow for these. Oops. At least these little guys are cheap. All right. Is that it? I think that's it. No. Sorry, I've got this whole bin. Just kidding. All right. Octopus Protein says I'm using a Korean KF94. Wow. I was not trying to design a mask that stops fogging up. I was trying to design an open source gas mask because of what I think is about to happen with the election. And I lost steam on it. We had some good folks in the Discord working on it with me, and I kind of lost steam, and it was not a very good open source project manager, so / cheerleader. So we made a bit of headway, but I think it's still not quite viable for the use case we had envisioned. And the reality is, at least right now, you can still buy, I think, you can still buy gas masks online. At least a couple months ago you could. So let's kind of the deal there. I don't know. At this point, I'm honestly less worried about tear gas and more worried about more deadly things, more dangerous things. But I was raised a pacifist and still am a pacifist. It's I'll be honest, like right now is making me doubt that, but but it's still ultimately my core values. So while I have considered the notion of buying a gun, I have not gone and done it. Jack Robb asks, I was going to try and ask, now seemed like a good time. Have you ever ventured into looking at PVT and EVT iPhones? Yes, I have been shown PVT and EVT phones. Honestly, like it's, I don't know. The stuff that I've seen has not been all that different. It's been really esoteric. Like the differences have been really esoteric. And I think it's getting into territory that makes it really hard to make videos, you know, that get a large audience. It's walking a really fine line legally. I have been assured that Apple doesn't tend to come after people that have those devices, but ultimately they're stolen. A lot of them are stolen out of factories, and I'm just not wild about buying and possessing stolen hardware, particularly pre-release stolen hardware. So I've looked at them. I have held a few, but I have never owned one, and I think for now that probably is where I'm going to draw the line. I don't know. I also I don't know. I keep going back and forth on iPhone stuff. I don't want to be just the iPhone guy, and you get too far down that road, it gets really very niche. So I don't know. That's my take. It's also it's tricky shipping phones in general across the ocean, like with customs and stuff. So that's a whole thing. I don't know. I have, it's shady is, I guess, the short answer. And I'm hesitant to, there's too many other interesting things, I think is what it comes down to. And I've had friends who are very into it. I've had friends who have gotten very into it from people that I've introduced them to. Yeah, it's just not my thing. Mr. John, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I figured I'd do this on the stream because I went to the bathroom and then I was standing back there. I unpacked the Sortimo knockoffs and I was like, I could be doing this on camera. So I don't know. I am impressed that 20 people are hanging out watching me do this, but yeah, it's a good time to chat and catch up if nothing else. Kazma, yeah, long time no see. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for coming to hang out. Greg, yes, I did mention adding USB-C to an iPhone. I have two 12s on order. Should be here on Friday. And I've looked at a bunch of teardowns, but I can't quite see how much room there is. Excuse me. A lot of the teardowns are getting less detailed than they used to be. Even iFixit, not super detailed, because I think they think that, the ancillary parts are not as interesting anymore. And that's really what I'm interested in, because it's it's the things like the barometric vent that is where I stole space for the headphone jack project. And I haven't been able to find a teardown that pulls that out. So there is something down in that lower left corner. And so really the question is can I find enough space in there? I think I can get the electronics to work no problem. I'm going to use the same approach that I did with the headphone jack, which is basically just build a lightning switcher that switches between the lightning jack when something's plugged in, and when you unplug it is going to switch over to well, no, that's not true. No, sorry, I'm thinking headphone jack. No, I'm just going to embed the USB-C to lightning board from a USB-C to lightning cable. So I don't even need to build that circuitry. I hadn't fully thought that through. But it should be really straightforward electrically. It's really a mechanical project of like, can you fit the dang thing inside the phone? So, and really, I'm not going to learn that until I get my hands on a phone. And then it's just a matter of figuring out, okay, like, well, what USB-C jack do I use? How does it, how do I do like strain relief and mounting and things like that? So, yeah. So yeah, that's the biggest challenge. All right, I'm gonna take this back. What are we doing on time? I'm gonna do one more of these, and then I'll sign off for the night. The dog is giving me the evil eye. He's definitely ready to go home. He's being relatively good right now. Let's see if that lasts. Now we are down to M2. Stuff's starting to get real small. I have M2 and then I have M1.6, which gets really crazy small. But I figured it was good to have some really small stuff on hand for iPhone projects in particular. I need to get some of those like glue-in heat inserts. That's what I used for creating my own mounting points on the headphone jack project, which worked great. Like, would definitely do those again. Not all of these packages have a proper McMaster car label, which is a little bit annoying. The labels are so nice. Okay. So I have ordered, these are all hex screws. I've ordered flathead, button head, and socket head. And I don't know. I don't know if that was the right choice or not. I have to say, like, McMaster Car is a little bit overwhelming, particularly when it comes to hardware. So I ran up quite a tally with this order, and I figured I'd supplement it as I go along. I've already placed a couple more kind of additional orders where I realized I had holes in my inventory, but I figured, if I'm starting an inventory from scratch, there's not really any reason to invest in Philips. I freaking hate Philips. They strip out. They're just obnoxious to work with. So I may as well get something that I really liked working with. So decided hex was it. See if I regret that. So far it's been good. Jack's asking about phone contracts in China. They do phone contracts. All the cell phone companies are government owned. There are a couple competing companies, but they're ultimately government owned. You definitely can get contracts, but contracts I don't think, as far as I remember and as far as I can tell, you don't typically like buy a phone under contract. You can get various like service deals that come with a contract, and come at least with a monthly contract. I think there are some like yearly commitment type stuff, but you can also just get like pay-as-you-go SIM cards. The big thing now is that every SIM card has to be tied to a passport. It used to be that you could get, like if you went to the electronics markets, you could get SIM cards that where you didn't have to show a passport, or you could go down to like Hong Kong and get, you know, pay-as-you-go SIM cards without a passport. And now you do. It's not particularly onerous, but they do want to be able to tie back any activity online, whether it's on a phone or whether it's on a computer. They want to be able to tie it back to a person, in case you're saying things they don't want you to say. So I don't know. I don't, to be honest, like, it doesn't intimidate me too much. There are plenty of ways to get around that if you need to, at least on the Western internet. You know, if I need to use encryption, I do. And I don't go out of my way to say things that would be objectionable in general, but particularly on Chinese internet. So, you know, the reality is that there isn't that much that's really off limits. It's, you know, the big ones are the 3 Ts, Tiananmen Square, Taiwan, and Tibet. And as long as you don't talk about those, there's not a lot, you know, as long as you don't talk about those, and as long as you're not like super hypercritical of the government, like, I don't know, there's not a lot of trouble you can get into. My experience anyway. The Canadian security screw, are those hex screws? Oh wait, hang on, I'm missing stuff. I don't know PZ or Robertson. What are those? Let's look. Here. Let's go to McMaster and look what are McMaster. Let me turn this off so I can still see chat. Yeah, people don't always like recording in the markets. That's kind of a separate issue. What are Robertson? Oh, is Robertson square? Must be square. Yeah, those are nice. And then what's PZ? PZ, Posit Drive. Is that what we're talking about? I don't know. What are PZ, Robot Army? I'm going back to bolts here. What do we got? Socket head. 20 millimeters. That's the ones I just put in. All right. Oh. Gotta give you the top-down camera so you can really see the proper sorting of screws here. We wouldn't want you to miss out on all the action. Oh. It's a Posit Drive. These are... Oh, weird. Okay. So they're like Phillips, but not? Yeah. Yeah, Cosma, all these screws are just like for when I need them. If I had easy access to a good hardware store, you know, within 5 or 10 minutes, I probably wouldn't have bought all these. Or I would have bought fewer. But because I'm out in the sticks and because it's a pandemic, I am investing in the future. I'm investing in a strong inventory here, so that I have, you know, kind of the essentials, so that as I'm building stuff, I'm not constantly having to wait for stuff in the mail or make runs to the store. And really even then I've got like Home Depot and Ace Hardware, which are both an hour away. So it's, you know, you're not gonna get a stainless steel flathead screw like that at Home Depot, I don't think. Yeah, the goal is to never drop this box, but if it's closed, everything should stay put. Except they totally jump between compartments. Dang it. Well, that sucks. That did not work out as intended. Okay, there is a gap. That's a problem for the really small stuff. M2 and below. Well, that's annoying. That'll teach me to show off on camera here. Whoops. All right. Well, that's a thing. I think for the bigger stuff it'll be fine. For this little tiny stuff, maybe not. One thing that occurred to me is I could print new boxes. I think this whole idea is good, but there's probably just enough of a gap, so I could print a little bit taller boxes maybe on the 3D printer. That might help. Yeah, or foam. That's a good idea, Greg. The problem with foam is that I won't be able to see inside then. But I don't know. I do like being able to see what's in where without opening it. I like that clear top. Yeah, 0805, sure. Some of them, I mean, these little washers are pretty small. That's a lot of what moved. I think the conclusion I just reached is that I definitely won't be putting the M1.6s in here. Those probably will go in some other container. So yeah, I might move these and the M1.6s to something else, but the other sizes I did I think are fine. I also don't really expect to be turning this upside down, so it might be a non-issue. Yeah, that was all that moved around. Not too bad. Where this came from, it's a completely different size. All right, we got lock nuts. So I got regular nuts, lock nuts, wing nuts, washers, and a bunch of different bolts in each diameter. We'll see what I sort of end up using the most. Be a little bit of an experiment. Dog is stinking it up in here. You're gross, dude. The dogs here on the res just run free, most of them. And so it means he's regularly eating things that probably aren't great for his digestive tract. He's regularly getting into, he regularly comes back with various bones, some of which are from human food and some of which are just random animals he's found in the woods. He's been getting into flour somewhere around the shop. I haven't figured out where yet. Yeah, it's somewhere somebody dumped a bag of flour that he's been getting into. But I'm guessing it's the random animal carcasses that he's been eating that make him smell so bad. Yeah, it's definitely ew, but I don't know. He's pretty likable when he's not, you know, smelly. Which is, you know, every 5 minutes sometimes, but. Robot Army, there is a story about the walls of the building I'm in. So this is the men's locker room, or men's changing room in the tribe gymnasium. The tribal governor is and has been a Strange Parts fan for a long time, and so he hooked me up with some space. But this is what they had available. They had Originally, he had another room for me, but they decided they were going to use it as a classroom instead. And so I ended up in here, which I think is actually all for the best. I think this is a better spot. But it was super boring white walls in here, and I wanted it to be darker, and I wanted it to sort of look like a layer, like a cement walled layer. So I actually did all the walls myself. I didn't want to damage the walls, so I stuck up 1/8" plywood with really strong double-sided tape that I got off Amazon, and then I plastered over them with colored plaster with like colored joint compound. I used cement coloring, and so that's sort of given this this sort of cement wall look, which I hope is at least somewhat convincing on camera. Yeah, so that's the story there. Steel washers, I don't understand. Did I get 2 different steel washers? Sure looks that way. Weird. One is 4.5 millimeters outer diameter and one is 5 millimeters outer diameter. All right. I don't know how I did that. Weird. No, I'm not having to share with people changing still. I have the whole place to myself. No, it's actually really good. I've got, I'm the only one with a key here, and so it means I can have all the cameras and stuff out. And no, I'm the only one coming in here. And then people living in the same house as me sometimes come down and hang out, but no, it's right now I haven't had any visitors. Probably will more or less keep it that way. In terms of like the school and gym access, I don't know. I heard the kids were going to go back, but I don't think they actually have. There are a number of kids living here in the tribe, and there's a local public school just outside the Pueblo, but they teach Tiwa classes here, which is the native language that people speak. It's not generally spoken outside of ceremonies, but they're trying to keep. They're trying to make sure that the kids can speak it, or at least speak some of it. So they've been having Tiwa classes, and I don't know if they've restarted those. They were talking about restarting those, and so that's what went in the classroom space instead. In terms of the gym's totally shut down, so the gym's empty, which is great because this room shares a door with the men's bathroom, and despite all my attempts to soundproof it, you can still hear some noise from the bathroom. But I'm one of the only people that uses it on a regular basis, so it's been all right. Hasn't been a huge deal. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Like I'm here, and I know some people that work in the various tribal offices and things, just because I've encountered them when I've gone to pick up packages, or I shot some videos with the forestry guys talking about how they make charcoal. So I've had some contacts like that. I've been working on shooting some video for about a water dispute that the tribe's been having for over 200 years. And so I've met some people that way, but it's weird to live here and really not have met much interaction with the other people that live here. I don't know. There's a lot of people that I see and wave at that I don't know who they are. Just see them driving by, It's weird to not really know your neighbors. And in particular, it's weird to not know your neighbors in such a small community. Have I figured out how to do factory tours in COVID times? No. I thought about doing stuff like Zoom-based. I don't know. I'm not super enthusiastic about it. I feel like a lot of what makes my factory tours interesting is us really spending the time to get cool shots of machines, and it's really hard to do remotely. Even if you've got a factory that's really enthusiastic and working with you, I don't know, it takes some level of expertise to really get the awesome shots that we've been able to get, and I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really fully figured that out yet. Might be something I work on in the future, but I think right now I'm mostly focused on getting back to making things myself. It seems like that's what a lot of people watch Strange Parts for, and so I'm hoping that resonates. Yeah, well that's my last set of screws here, at least for today. Oh, thanks. In terms of being modest to some level of expertise, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't call myself an expert filmmaker or an expert camera person, but I think a lot of it is just insisting on getting shots that really describe the machines and really show how the machines work. And a lot of it's just being stubborn, of just telling the factory, no, we're going to take the time to get the shot we need because we really want to show it, because people really want to see. And then, yeah, there's some amount of understanding, you know, cameras and lighting and things like that. But yeah. Oh, thanks, Arhildus. I'm glad you're a fan, and I'm glad you're here hanging out. Just having a chill sorting session here. I do think I probably better sign off here. It's getting on dinner time. It's about 10 to 7, and I said I would be back up the hill around 7. So I'm gonna sign off. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been awesome. I'm definitely enjoying doing the live streaming thing. And yeah, there is one last screw that we haven't sorted yet. Good eyes. It is not M2. I don't know what it is, but I gotta go figure out where that goes. So have a good rest of your night. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll hang out more soon, probably tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you follow the Twitch channel here, and I'll probably announce it again on Twitter, but best to follow on Twitch here. I probably won't announce all live streams going forward on Twitter. So yeah, come hang out again. I'll probably see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a crazy day here in the US. So I figure we probably all need a little bit of a distraction. Yeah, maybe we'll work on speccing out that telepresence robot I want to build. So have a good night, stay safe, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Have a good one.